So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dar here from YUGIOH Games, and today I am bringing you an Ancient Warrior update profile thanks to Eternity Code. So post Eternity Code, the deck got a new set of support. We only use about 3 or 4 of the new cards, but it just gives it another level to make the deck a little bit better. Before we go into the profile, massive shout out to Totally Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh on YouTube. It's where I found a couple of tech cards that I've put in and the second combo that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you 2 combos. One is going to be a 1-card OTK combo and the other one is going to be a 3-card protection combo for going first as well. So you get the best out of both sides of the deck. So like I said, a massive shout out to Totally Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh on YouTube. Go check them out. He's got an awesome playmat as well for the Ancient Warriors. With that said and done, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe so you do not miss out on anything. And now's time for the Ancient Warrior profile. So not only did Ancient Warriors get better because of Eternity Code, they also got a little bit more better because of Master Rule 5 as well. And the combos that I'll show you towards the end are going to explain exactly why and how that is. So we start off with triple Ancient Warrior Masterful Sun Mu. This card is actually really good, gets everything going, and it's part of one of the defensive combos. So all the Ancient Warriors pretty much share the same effect in the sense that while you control another Ancient Warrior monster your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn, so it's kind of like a soft lock. The deck's very good at going second, but with this kind of, the way the meta's going and there's like dinos around and people don't mind going second, you want to be able to build to go first as well. You can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add 1 Ancient Warrior monster from your deck to your hand except himself. If another Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated except during the damage step, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So it gives you a little bit to play around with that way as well. Double Ancient Warriors YUGIOH. Now I'm going to do the waters, then the winds, then the fires, just so they're kind of kept within their attributes. So this one, you target 1 continuous spell trap card you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, add 1 Ancient Warrior spell or trap from your deck to your hand. If another Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated except during a damage step, you target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Only use each effect once per turn. So it's kind of nice to get past a card that's like, can't be destroyed by battle. So it kind of gives you a little route out that way. You can probably cut it down to 1 should you wish, but 2 kind of gives you enough play and it gives you consistency for the protection play combo as well. Then onto the wind, we got triple Lu Zhang. This card is actually really good as well. This is part of like the 1-card combo purely because if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special on 1 Ancient Warrior monster from your deck except himself. So this is part of the 2-card combo, or like the 1-card combo in a sense. To get your OTK is that you go second, your opponent's probably going to have more than 1 monster on the board. You get this guy down, so if you use Tenki, search him out, normal summon him, use the effect, send Tenki, bring out another monster, level 4, overlay, Utopia double, boom, that's your game there. Very good card, very important, which is why we play him at 3. Triple Loyal Guan Zhan. So this is kind of like their own technical Prankatops without it being as good as Prankatops. So if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from the hand. Your opponent cannot target other Ancient Warrior monsters you control with card effects. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and use each effect once per turn. So it's kind of like a Prankatops, but not as fast and not as strong. But still very good in an Ancient Warrior deck. And then the 1 Valiant Zhang Ji. So if you control 2 or more Ancient Warrior monsters, you special summon this card from the hand. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can activate this effect. You can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during the battle phase, and it's a 2700 beater, so it's a nice way of clearing your opponent's board off and just getting a nice beater on board. And then for the final, the brand new Zheng Kong. This card is, if this card is added from your deck to your hand by the effect of an Ancient Warrior card, you can special summon it. When a spell or trap is activated, quick effect, you can send 1 face-up Ancient Warrior continuous spell or trap you control to the graveyard, negate the activation. When a monster effect is activated while you control this card, quick effect, you can send 1 face-up Ancient Warrior continuous spell or trap you control to the graveyard, negate the activation. Only use each effect once per turn. So it's a nice defensive card that gives you an extra line of negation on top of the already built negation combo that I'm going to show you towards the end as well. Then onto the brand new fires. So we play double Zhang Yuan and one ambitious Xiao Di. So Zhang Yuan, all other Ancient Warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. At the start of the damage step, when your Ancient Warrior monster battles an opponent's face-up monster, you can special summon this card from the hand, and if you do, that opponent's monster loses 1,000 attacks. That's a nice way of getting your lower level or your weaker Ancient Warriors to beat over the higher level monsters as well. If a card or cards your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls to destroy it. So the idea is, this guy gets dropped down, means that your Ancient Warrior is going to destroy a monster because it's going to get negged by 1,000 attack, and then he's going to come down and pop another card as well. So it's like double whammy. Xiao Di is, while you control another Ancient Warrior monster, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. It's a 3k beta. If a card or card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon this card from the hand. When this card is destroyed by opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you special summon that monster to your field in defense position. So you can see exactly the synergy of how this works. So let's say you've got one of your weaker Ancient Warriors on board, but you've got these two in hand. You attack with your weaker monster, use the effect of Zhang Yuan to come down, make your opponent's monster lose 1,000, that monster will then get destroyed. Zhang Yuan's second effect will then pick in, as if a card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, which it has been, you target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. That will then trigger Xiao Di in the hand, so if a card or card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon that card from your hand. So you send the monster that's just made the attack and just destroyed it, send it to the graveyard, special summon out Xiao Di. Xiao Di can then attack as 3k, destroy it by a battle, and special summon it back to the field. Then your Zhang Yuan can then attack directly for 23. So you see the synergy between the three of those, and then you put that on top of any of your XYZs that you play around with. It just, the fire gives it another level, and which is why these are the brand new cards. It just gives you a more aggressive approach to the deck, whereas previously you had to rely on like your Utopia double, a bit more control based, and then going for the OTKs. So definitely swinging in with these two cards is insane right now. And then the tech card that came from Totally Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Tin Goldfish. This just allows you to go Bahamut Shark Toad. So it gives you a very, very nice and consistent first turn protection play as well. Being able to set up a Toad can be quite annoying for your opponent to deal with. And then you kind of just let it go through, or you just have a bit more protection to play around with. Onto the spells. We play triple Ancient Warrior Saga, 3 visits. Love the artwork on this. The artwork's insane. So during your main phase, if you normal or special summon an Ancient Warrior monster or monsters, you can target one of those monsters, add one Ancient Warrior monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, you special summon one Ancient Warrior monster from your hand, and use each effect once per turn. Send this card during to the graveyard during the second standby phase. So the idea of the way this works is if you activate this, you normal summon an Ancient Warrior monster. Ideally, you want to be summoning your Sun Moon. That will then trigger to send this to the grave, or can then trigger to send this to the grave. So this will then search. This then triggers to send this to the graveyard. Your Moon will then search you out another card. Because this has been sent from the field to the graveyard, it will then trigger to special summon one of the two cards you've searched. And then the other card you've searched, whether it be the brand new Zhen Kong, or whether it actually be one of the other wind ones, where if you control two other Ancient Warriors, you can special summon it, it just gives you more board presence. So it actually works really, really well, a lot more consistent now that we've got the new cards on top of that. And then if you're going aggression, you just search out the fire ones, and then you go, cool, attack, summon, destroy a card, special summon, and it just gives you another route to keep the deck pure. And I can't wait till we get the Link Monster for this deck, because the Link Monster is just going to be so cool to play around with. It is a Beast Warrior deck, so you play triple Tenki, searches out all of your monsters apart from Tin Goldfish. Triple Tensu is your additional normal summon of a Beast Warrior monster. Now, in Totally Awesome's profile, he did play Double or Nothing, not Double or Nothing, sorry, the double summon, and I was kind of like, that's quite an idea, I like that idea, but I was like, you've got your Tensus, so if you wanted to, and you really, really wanted to, you could put Fire Fist in here to make it a little bit more consistent. I don't play any of the Fire Fist cards apart from the Tenkis and Tensus, purely because I've tried to keep it more Ancient Warrior based. Like, I want my Ancient Warriors to win the game, I want my Ancient Warriors to defend the game. Yes, they do need to use the extra deck to do that sometimes, but it just gives you a little bit more to play around with. Triple Call by the Grave, because you want, especially the one that special summons from the deck, you want that effect to go off. If that gets ashed, you kind of sit there going, yeah, that sucked. So playing Triple Call by the Grave, not only can it be a very, very good defensive card, it's also a very, very good offensive card as well. Now the one-offs, you probably arguably put this at 2. I was playing Pot of Extravagance, I've taken that out because now I rely more on the extra deck and I don't want to be playing frees of like Bahamut Sharks and Toads and stuff. Not that you can play free Toads, keep that in mind. So you've got the 1 Desires, the 1 Double or Nothing, the 1 Instant Fusion, very, very important for the protection combo, and then the 1 Monster Reborn. Just because if your opponent destroys one of your monsters, you just bring it back, and if you're going second, you take one of their monsters and you just go ham. That's what you want to do. Is this what I've gone with this build is, I've put Totally Awesome's profile, I've taken my own profile, and I've taken Rob's input as well. And Rob's was all about going second. Totally Awesome's is all about going first, or mainly about going first. And then with the new cards in it, they've got another form of going second. So I've kind of mashed the two together, put my own spin on it, and kind of come up with this version as well. So the Bahamut Shark combo is all Totally Awesome's credit, so I take no credit for that combo at all. I was kind of like, oh yeah, it can, that's sick, that's insane. So that's where I first saw it, and I was like, yeah, it's really, really good, we have to play it. To keep your rank 4 plays going, we do play triple Fat Ounce of Shade Brigandine because we only play 6 traps. 3 of this and 3 Infinite Impermanence. So you can actually play Shade Brigandine quite consistently, and because we're going for the rank 4 plays of this deck, Shade Brigandine is very, very good. Like, why would you not want to play it? It's a free summon. You can use it going first and going second. So if your combo was to finish, and again, the combo, if you have Shade Brigandine in hand, can finish with a rank 4 plus a rank 7 as well. Really, really gets the deck going. And something you can play in this deck, and it's one thing that I've noticed, is any rank 4 deck right now can dodge Nibiru. And by doing so, what you do is you make Trap Tricks Rafflesia, you play 1 Gravedigger's Deep Dark Hole, and then if your opponent goes Nibiru, you go, alright, Rafflesia, send this. You're now going to take 2,000 damage and lose your Nibiru, and I'm going to keep on going. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. That's it for the main deck. I'll show you the combo towards the end after we've gone through the extra deck. The extra deck is quite straightforward and simple and very to the point. So we play a lot of XYZ, so I'll get to them last. But for our Instant Fusion targets, you've got the Millennium Eyes, the Thousand Eyes, and the Rare Fish. You don't have to play these two. It just gives you another option that if you've already got the Toad combo, you haven't got to go for this on your Instant Fusion. If you're going first and you're worried about hand traps, you go for this. And then your opponent's like, ah, cool, I can't ash you, I'm going to struggle to deal with this. And then if you're going second, you go with Thousand Eyes and you just go, activate, steal. You don't have to worry about getting rid of it anymore into a Link Karibo. You can do if you want, purely because it doesn't eat up the extra monster zone anymore. So this just gives you defensive, offensive, and combo-based plays, all from Instant Fusion. Now it is free zone or free spaces in the extra deck for 1 card, which is Instant Fusion, but it's entirely up to you if you want to play it. You can change it around completely. In space of that, I have minimized my link engines, and it does literally just go IP Masquerena, Nightmare Unicorn, and Borosword. So defensive plays and then offensive plays. You can get a lot of monsters on board. Sometimes you don't even need to go into Borosword because most of your Ancient Warriors are going to do the job for you. But just being able to go into like a Borosword and then go, alright, I'm now going to use my lower level or my lower strength. It's going to attack. I'm going to special summon 1 fire and then going to special summon the 2nd fire. And then Borosword's going to shift that to defense, and I'm going to clear your board off even more. So it does give you a lot to play around with, and you can easily put Dark Rule no more in this deck as well, just because you shut everything off, and then all of your Ancient Warrior monsters are going to go pop, pop, destroy, special summon, and then they're going to build their board in space of your board. So it's very, very good, very, very consistent, but this is just for a power play should you need it. 9 out of 10, we are going to rely on the XYZs, and these are the XYZs that we play. So you've got your Red Eyes Flare for your defensive play. You can play Big Eye if you want. I just think this is actually a lot better, in my opinion, right now. Is if you can back this up with like a Totally Awesome as well, your opponent's just going to sit there slowly burning out, and then your next turn, you're going to go into your Ancient Warriors, and you're just going to win the game from there on. So very, very good, and it lets you kind of keep moving forward as well. Defensive play, obviously Totally Awesome and Bahamut Shark. You play, or you've already main decked like normal water monsters for your Ancient Warriors, so you play 2 level 4 versions of that, and then you couple that off with a Tin Goldfish, you go Bahamut Shark Toad. It gives you a very, very nice kind of combo that gives you a first turn protection play as well. And then we've got the rank 4 toolbox, obviously Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon, Baguska, the Terribly Tired Taper, and then my Utopia kind of lineup that I currently use is double Utopia and Beyond. I just like the idea of Beyond being able to go, I'm going to turn everything to 0. Like, I don't even really mind that it becomes 6k, like that's awesome. But turning everything to 0 means that all of my lower attack monsters or even my high attack monsters are going to do more damage. So unless I don't need to rely on a double or nothing OTK play, I can actually rely on a full board clearance, and it just gives you a little bit more to play around with as well. And setting everything to 0, even if they survive the turn, it still puts them on the back foot that they can't actually deal with your monsters. So it's very, very good and very, very consistent, and that's why I like this kind of engine right now, just as another alternative. You don't have to play it, you can play Utopia the Lightning, you can even cut this out completely and double up your Utopias if you want to. I just personally quite like this play. Now there is a way of getting the double or nothing play off, where you would make Utopia double, go into Beyond, and then you have to make Utopia. Utopia negates his first effect and then make it 12k, gives you an instant guaranteed win. But 9 times out of 10 I kind of want to play it this way. The only weakness right now is if people set all their stuff in defense, you've got to go, okay, my Utopia play is not going to work, and that's where you need to put in a Pentastag. But it really depends on the way the current game is going to go, and that's where you adapt the deck accordingly that way as well. So that was it for the full profile. I'm now going to show you, I'll show you the first turn defensive combo that came from Totally Awesome, Team Totally Awesome YUGIOH, YUGIOH. So to make this, what you need is you need Ancient Warrior Saga Free Visit. You then need your Sun Moon and your Tin Goldfish. So the way this kind of works is you would activate your 3 sagas, then Normal Summon your Ancient Warrior and Masterful Sun. This would then trigger the effect of 3 visits to search you out a monster. So you want to search out, pretty much search out whatever you want. But you go for your Loyal Guanzhong. You then use the effect of Sun Moon. Send one, sorry, done this completely wrong. Normal Summon your Tin Goldfish. There you go. And then bring down your Masterful Sun. Then you go off from there. Do the exact same thing. Searches out your Gunlan. Then you use the effect of Masterful Sun Moon to send 3 visits to the graveyard to search out your other Wind level 7. There we go. It's your Zhang Di. You then trigger the effect of 3 visits. That will then special summon down your Loyal Guanzhong. And then because you've got 2 Ancient Warrior monsters, you get to special summon down your Zhang Di. You then overlay these 2 into your Red Eyes Flare. You then overlay these 2 into your Bahamut Shark, detach, and special summon out your Totally Awesome. So let me zoom that out a little bit. There you go. So now you'd still have 2 cards in hand if you've gone first as well, so they can be additional extensions, they can be imperms, they can be anything. But you've got a nice little burn and go, you've also got a nice little bit of protection there. And then when this hits the graveyard, you put it back in the extra deck, Bahamut Shark can bring it back next turn as well. So it gives you a little bit of consistent plays. The OTK is like very, very simple. So it can either be done with this plus any monster, but the easiest way of doing it is you go Tenki. Now it is the OTK play, so the way this works is you'd activate Tenki, Tenki's effect goes off, searches out your Lujan, you normal summon your Lujan, effect of this sends Tenki to the graveyard, special summon any Ancient Warrior level 4 from your deck, doesn't matter what one it is, you're going the exact same route, overlay these 2 straight into double, and then use double's effect, go into Utopia, and then you've just got play double or nothing. Boom, that's your game there. Very, very simple, very, very short, and that's just 1 card. So what I'm trying to show you with that 1 card example is you still have 5 more cards left in hand. They're either going to be 5 board breaking cards, or they're going to be 5 build up cards, or 5 extension cards. You've actually got a lot to keep going from there. It's just a very, very simple combo that I wanted to show you guys as well. So, and then, like I said, you've got the consistency as well. So you can turn it into a 2 card combo. and then you could actually double up even further. So if you were to open up 3 visits and 10 key, you can go so much further. So you'd go activate your 3 visits, activate your 10 key. 10 key searches you out. Where are you? Your Lugion. You summon out your Lugion, effective Lugion to send the 10 key to special summon out your Sun Moon. Sun Moon's effect, 3 visits effect to search you out. Let's go with the fire. Let's go fire. Let's go aggressive. So this can be anything you want. Sun Moon's effect to send this. Now you can either search out, where are you? You can search out your Chao Di, which is what I'm going to do. But you can also search out YUGIOH, and you can also search out your Zhang Di. So you've got a lot to play around with. You can search out any of those cards, and they'll give you nice extension. So the Zhang Kong will give you a defensive play because it will summon itself. But then any of these can go off because then you trigger off 3 visits. 3 visits would then trigger to summon down. So you'd have 2 in hand. So let's say it summons down this. You don't have to. If you've got more, you can choose something else. But then what it means is during the battle phase, as long as this kills something, this can come down. And then your board is like boom, and then rank 4. If you don't choose to do this, and let's say you went with these 2 here, this would special summon itself, declare an attack. Oh well, if your opponent controls more monsters you do, you activate this effect. This card can make 2 attacks. So you declare an attack with this, use the effect of this to special summon itself to reduce your opponent's monster by 1,000. This is then going to attack again. This would then pop a card. This then attacks, this then attacks, and this then attacks. Or you do all of this play. Make sure your opponent has more monsters than you. You just overlay. So then this can become anything you want. So ideally you're going to go Utopia and then double. And if your opponent like ashes it, ogres it, whatever, it just happens. But you don't need to do that. You go double, and then let's go. Let's use the example of going into Beyond. That will then turn all your opponent's monsters to 0. You then get to declare an attack with this one, destroys it, effect of this will pop another one. This will then get to attack again at 27. This then attacks for 23. This then attacks for 6k. So you've got game, and there's a lot of routes to go with it as well. So this deck's super fun. I'll tell you what, if this video gets 50 likes, I'll do a test stand video for you guys as well, because it's super fun. I love it. I think it's so cool and so fun to kind of use and abuse the deck, and just the way the deck kind of circles around itself is really, really fun. Anyway, hope you liked it. Please smash the like button if you did. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on anything more coming up. For now, like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always, guys, happy dueling.